You are such a doll for hosting. What's for brunch again? I brought some plant-based hummus. Yeah, I mean, that's perfect. I've just whipped up a what is up? Oh yeah, excuse the digs. Real tough while I training for Murph. I mean, I could eat a horse. What's on the menu today? I was actually just about to tell Willow that I've made quiche. Oh, quiche? Is it meat-free? I just watched Forks Over Knives last night and it changed my life. Not to put myself in a box, but...
Oh, which box do you go to?
I have decided to dedicate my life to saving the fur babies and become a vegetarian. Yeah, well, I mean, a quiche is really just some eggs, heavy cream, and
You mean there's no bacon? I knew I should have had my post-Metcon protein shake.
well, you are both in luck because I happen to make 2 quiches today. A quiche Florentine with spinach and a quiche Lorraine with, yep, you guessed it, bacon. Let's just hope my Paleo Whole30 friend forgot about the Evite. If you've never made a quiche from scratch, it's actually really simple to do. It's pretty much just like a pie, except it's got a custardy egg filling. To save time, I'll be using a store-bought pie crust today. However, if you want to go the extra mile, you can always make your own pie crust from scratch. And I've got a great recipe for one right here if you need it. Place 1 pie crust over a 9-inch pie dish that has been sprayed lightly with nonstick cooking spray. Spread it out along the bottom and then up the sides of the dish. Holding your fingers like this, about a 1/2 inch apart. Place them on the outside of the pie crust and then push in the center with your pointer finger on your other hand. Crimp the edges all of the way around the pie crust. Next, you'll want to poke holes into the bottom of the crust using the tines of a fork. This allows a place for steam to escape so the crust remains flat and doesn't puff up and ultimately shrink on you. Then, place a piece of parchment paper into the pie crust and fill with either pie weights if you have them, or any type of dried beans will work. You want to make sure they completely cover the bottom and up the sides of the pie crust. Repeat this with another pie dish and crust if you're making both quiches. Bake the crust in a preheated 375-degree oven for 15 minutes. This will ensure that that bottom part of the pie crust gets nice and crispy. While the crust are par-baking, we'll get the fillings ready. And we'll start off with that quiche Florentine, or the one with spinach. And if you didn't already know, in French cooking, dishes that contain spinach are actually referred to as à la Florentine, which came from the great French queen, Catherine de Medici. Add 2 tablespoons of butter to a large skillet over medium heat. Once melted, add 1/2 a sweet onion that has been finely diced, and saute for 3 to 4 minutes or until it's translucent. Mix in 2 cloves of finely minced garlic and continue cooking for another 30 seconds. Add 4 to 5 cups of coarsely chopped fresh spinach and saute for 2 to 3 minutes more or until it's softened. And now for the quiche Lorraine. You'll want to cook 6 ounces or about 5 strips of a thick cut bacon that have been cut into 1/2-inch pieces over medium heat for 8 to 10 minutes. Once it's cooked through, remove using a slotted spoon and place on a paper towel lined plate to drain. Remove the bacon grease from the skillet and add back in 2 tablespoons along with 1/2 a sweet or white onion that has been finely diced. Saute over medium heat for 5 to 6 minutes or until the onion is slightly caramelized. During the last minute, add in 2 cloves of finely minced garlic and saute for 30 seconds or until fragrant. All right, now that we've got the spinach and the bacon ready, it's time to start whisking up that creamy egg filling. They happen to be the exact same for both quiches, so feel free to just double up the ingredient amounts if you're making both of them. Grab a large bowl and add 4 large eggs. And real quick, let me show you a little trick. If you happen to get a piece of shell in there, you can just simply use one of the halves and scoop it right out. So easy, right? 1 1/4 cups of heavy cream. You can also use whole milk or even a full-fat non-dairy milk if you'd like, but just know that the filling will be slightly more watery and not quite as creamy. 3/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, 1/4 teaspoon of paprika, and 1/8 teaspoon of nutmeg. Yes, the spice adds a subtle earthiness that's incredible. Using a large whisk, mix this together until everything is well incorporated. And one thing I forgot to mention here, it's not absolutely necessary, but if you happen to have a bowl with a spout, it will make pouring the filling into the pie crust so much easier and not quite so messy. Okay, the crust have been par-baked. Now it's time to just assemble these quiches all together. For the quiche Florentine, sprinkle 3/4 cup of shredded Gruyere, Swiss, or another white cheese into the bottom of the par-baked pie crust. Then, spread out the spinach in a single layer. Pour in the egg mixture and sprinkle with an additional 1/4 cup of shredded cheese. Mix everything together lightly using a fork. For the quiche Lorraine, sprinkle 1/2 cup of shredded Gruyere, Swiss, or another white cheese into the bottom of the par-baked pie crust, along with 1/4 cup of grated Parmesan cheese. Then spread out the bacon and onions in a single layer. Pour in the egg mixture and sprinkle with an additional 1/4 cup of shredded cheese. Mix it all together with a fork slightly in order to release any air bubbles. Bake the quiches at 375 for 40 to 45 minutes or until the center just barely jiggles. Allow them to rest for 10 to 20 minutes so the fillings can set before slicing in and serving with finely chopped fresh parsley. Oh man, which one to dig into? Is it really even a question? Y'all know I'm gonna do the bacon one. Oh my goodness, that filling is so creamy with bits of salty bacon all throughout. Okay, gotta try the other one now. Oh yeah, that one's just as good. And the veggie loving guests are gonna go crazy for it. But you know the drill. I wanna hear what you think, so be sure to let me know. Also, if you need a few more breakfast or brunch dishes to impress those guests, then you've gotta check out these recipes right over here. Thanks so much for hanging out. I will see you in the next one.